Okay, so we can continue the video. Yeah, just continue from where we stopped in last video, and we go to the chorus of this song. I do think this sentence is actually too reluctant to sing. Yeah, there are too many syllables, and yeah, it's very hard to actually pronounce every word clearly in the rhythm, in the rhyme, actually in this song. So yeah, I will try very hard maybe later, but yeah, I do think maybe that's the style of this song, but I don't like it very much here. But let's look at the contents. So here we have todas, todas las promesas de mi amor se irán contigo. So todas las promesas. So promesas is just promise, right? This is quite similar, and all the this is uh, the same thing in English. De mi amor, right? The amor is love, right? Yeah, definitely. We do have this word amar in Spanish, but sometimes it's too heavy, right? To use it, if I would like to say I love you, just say te quieres or say me gustas, right? That's quite enough. Yeah, there are no things a little bit too heavy, right? It's only used for proposal or something like that, right? For wedding proposal or something like that, right? But here we do have this word 'Ceylon, so this is irse again, which means leave or go away, right? And here we have the future tense, which is ending with a, ene, and yeah, I think the future tense, right, the future simple indicative is uh, simple and difficult in my opinion. I say it is simple. That is because we can really see the original form, or you can say that in an infinitive form of the word. For example, Ceylon, you can see the verb ir, and here we have this uh, suffix. I do think these suffixes are really hard to remember in this tense because two things. One, the letter used here is different for different persons. And the second thing is that the accent is almost always there. So we have a, and then we have actually write it in this way because we really add this suffix to the whole infinitive form of the word. Definitely for regular verbs, for there are definitely several irregular verbs, but definitely not that much. For example, tenere, we will see tendere, right, yeah, something like that, but not too much. Yeah, let's do with the normal case. So we have a, and then we have us, then we have a, and then we have emos. But for this one, we do not have accent, and then we have actually, I can't remember if it is eyes or A's. I remember if it is A's. Later on, maybe I'm wrong. Uh, then I will correct that definitely. Yeah. I guess we would like to recite, and the last one is long. Yeah. So it seems that we have accent in five different forms. Yeah, but we do not have that for nosotros on the first person plural form. I think that's why you can see sometimes we use a and sometimes we use are. So that's why I think it is difficult. Yeah, it's not like, for example, the past imperfect. Yeah, we use, for example, yeah, or we use our all the way. Yeah, but here it's not the case. We really need to remember this. But the good thing is that if we can already always see the original form of the word in this conjugation, that's good. Yeah, right. At least we can know the word immediately at a first glance. Okay, that's all about the future tense. Will means that several times again in this lyric, right? Let's go on to Ceylon, which means that will leave, right? And contigo, yeah, this is with you, right? But this is a very special form, as you may know that if we write gong and then must uh, if we use me or d, yeah, sorry, if we use me or d here, we'll change it to gong mi go and gong di go son. What happened? Yeah, that's quite special. Only with this pronoun and with these two different, sorry, with this preposition and these two different pronouns, only in I form and in you form. For example, con él, yeah, and con ella, con ustedes, something like that. That's always, yeah, as it is. But for Gomi and Gongdi, we do write Gomigo and Gongtigo. That's quite unique or special that you need to remember. But I just think that's quite natural if we use that several times. So Gongtigo is definitely with you here. So this sentence means that all the promises of my love will live with you. It's something, yeah, like right heartbreaking moment. Yeah, me olvidarás, me olvidarás. Yeah, you can see we have s here, which means that this is the second single uh, per second single sorry, second person single form. So me olvidarás, which means that you will forget me, right? You can see, yeah, this U is not here because, yeah, we can already see that from the conjugation. So the do, the subjective of this sentence is not there anymore. This is really usually seen in Spanish. I think that's definitely also a very basic rule, yeah, the basic phenomenon. And I think this S is very helpful because a lot of second person conjugations are ended with this s. So when I hear a conjugation of a word ending with s, I will first think, oh, it should be. Yeah, there's a very high possibility that it is for the second person. And I think that's a small trick we can use. So me olvidarás, you will forget me. Me olvidarás, you will forget me. And junto a la estación o lloraré igual con un niño que un niño. That's, yeah, right. Just junto is something like yeah, just, right? Oh, not so bad, but yeah, that's it. A la estación, this is a station, something in English quite similar, but I do notice that a lot of Spanish words, when translated from English, they add a letter A. For example, if we have space, we will change that to espacio, right? And the most famous word is Spanish, and then we will change it to Espanol, and we do have S. Yeah, there's a lot of, I like to say, um, examples here, but sometimes we do not have that. Yeah, sometimes we will have that. So I'm not sure if there's a rule. And yeah, I can just remember that. Oh, maybe for some words there will be an S. If you know the rule, please just let me know. It will be great help for me. Why some words in English starting with S will have another A in Spanish, but some words will not. That's very interesting, right? Okay, and a la station hoy is just right today. Lloraré, this is also the past simple. So llorar means cry. Yeah, right. I will write the English word here. This is also the past and the first person singular, right? Quite easy. Igual 跟o mínimo, yeah, so igual is just equal, right? Equal to, you can see, yeah, here, something like that, something like that. O mínimo, I'm a little bit confused here because definitely, yeah, if you know the singer of the song, who is Jeanette or Jeanette. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Maybe I pronounce that wrong, but definitely this is a female singer, and definitely you can hear from that original song. And I'm not sure why, yeah, in this lyric we do have un niño rather than una niña here. It seems that this is, yeah, a boy who broke up with his girlfriend rather than a girl who broke up with her boyfriend. It's a little bit confusing for me, for sure. I think, but never mind. Yeah, it fits for both. Yeah, for a girl, we just simply change Romanian to Romanian, right? But here, yeah, the original form is really Romanian. Yeah, that means a boy, right? Um, a boy. Okay. So this sentence means that just at the station, I cried. Yeah, right. Like a boy today. And yeah, change this a little bit because it's in the past tense. So cried like a boy today, which means that yeah, definitely. I cried heavily and right, it's just the result control something yeah, very heartbreaking, right? Something like that. And then you have a lot of forget bus, right? While you are leaving, and I just repeat that so many times to yeah, definitely to show the emotional situation I am. Yeah, I just don't want to lose you, but you just leave. Just repeat that word one once again, yeah, yeah, maybe 10 times, and yeah, again and again, something like that. Okay, let me go to the second part of the verse. So here we have bajo la de lombra de un farol. So bajo means under, right? So the word is something also like that. It is bajar, which means lower, down, right? Yeah, right, to make something lower. Yeah, something like that. So bajo is under. Penumbra. This is exactly the same word in English, penumbra. And actually, I didn't know this word before I heard this song. Uh, that's why I tell you that by learning Spanish, that we can even accumulate our English vocabulary. Here is a very great example. So, previously I only know umbra, which means something like shadow, right? Yeah. But I don't know what is penumbra, right? This word. Actually, it has a suffix, prefix pen, and this pen means half, right? Yeah. I think we do have this word peninsula, right? Which means something like an island, but not a whole island. Yeah, the three like directions of this uh, uh, surface is next to the sea, but on one side it is yeah definitely attached to another mainland, something like that. That's why we call it a peninsula. It's like half island, in my opinion, and that's the same thing here. So penumbra is something like uh, also the shadow, but not totally dark. For this umbra, that's totally dark, but for penumbra, it's not totally dark. But even if it is umbra here, yeah, I do think it makes sense in the lyrics. So if you don't really want to, yeah, be very, I like to say, strict in details, yeah, just forget about this point. Yeah, it's just a new word I learned from this song, which is quite interesting. I never know this, but it is definitely a subtle difference between Mont Blanc and Chenin Blanc. Um, but that's not so important if you are just trying to understand the song. Yeah, okay, let's move on. And then favor is something like straight line, right? Yeah, right. So this sentence is under the number of a straight line. C'est dormir long, right? This is another future tense, will sleep, right? And we do have this word said, which means yeah. I do think this word is almost everywhere in Spanish. Yeah, basically speaking, if you use a pronoun uh, in an indirect way, yeah, just put that there. Still not always it can be correct. It just means, for example, the subjective is influenced or somewhat changed. Yeah, it can mean anything. The passive tense or some just influence, direct or indirect. Yeah, it's just quite natural to use this word, may I say, to build up the structure of Spanish sentences. Sometimes it's just not that necessary to be fully explained. You just know with that word, the sentence stands better, and yeah, it helps us to understand. Yeah, that's all. I think that's good enough for understanding. Okay, sorry. Let's move on. So, what will sleep? Let me see. So, todas las cosas que quedaron por decir. Todas las cosas is all the things. This is quite easy. All the things. And que quedaron por decir que that right. This is just a clause. Right? Quedar, quedar is definitely um, a lot. There are a lot of meanings. Yeah, but you cannot just do a one-to-one translation from Spanish and to English because that's not the case. For some very useful or commonly used words, for example, hacer, sometimes you can translate it as make, right? And sometimes you need to translate it as do. It's not one-to-one corresponding relationship between the two words in two languages. That's never the case, in my opinion. So, yeah, you just use the context to help you figure out what it is, what's the meaning here. I think that's good enough, right? If you just yeah do that, yeah, right, just mechanically, yeah, translate all hacer to make, you will make a lot of mistakes. If you translate that to do, you will make another mistakes, right? So yeah, that's why we really need to understand and try to find a better way to yeah translate. So this is definitely Gedal has meaning of leave, but this leave is not I leave the house. That leave, this is something is left there. That leave, right? Remaining, something like that. That left for the seed is for the seed. This is the original form, which is stay, right? Yeah, which means that all the things that left for staying, and we will have an ing form in English actually, but here in Spanish the grammar is really just the definitive form. All right, and this means that uh, all the things that left for saying, which means that I have a lot of things I would like to say to you, but I just cannot say that because you are leaving, right? So dormir, yeah, right? You sleep, they will sleep. You can just mm, understand this and in this way. Say dormir means that they will sleep, and just like ellos se dormirán. Yeah, but we don't usually add subjective, but always in a lot of Spanish sentences, so we can see this, right? Indicative pronoun, indirect pronouns here. Yeah, and just they will sleep. And yeah, you can see what will sleep. Yeah, definitely uh, the street light will sleep, and also the words I would like to say to you will just sleep, which means that there's never another chance that I can say. Okay, let's go on. So, junto a las manillas de un reloj. Uh, yeah, so this is just a las manillas. Manillas, actually, the basic meaning is handle, but it makes no sense to say a handle of a watch, right? I think here maybe we really need to use the context to change the translation from handle to just a needle. Yeah, right. This is just the needle. Yeah, right. Uh, in that watch, right? So just this sentence means that so just those needles in my watch, right? In a watch, actually, I think it's just my watch. In a watch, espera long, right? This will wait, right? Esperar, right? And this is a very common word which means wait in English. Esperar, espero, right? Te espero. Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for you, right? Very common use. And todas las horas, you already see that this means all the hours, right? Que quedaron por vivir, you will see, yeah, all that. Yeah, this is the same sentence structure as this one, right? That left for vivir, vivir, which means to live, right? So for living, right? Esperar, we wait. And yeah, what's the meaning of this sentence? What means all hours are left for living wait? Yeah, which means that, in my opinion, in my understanding, that means that the rest of the time in my life, the rest of the time when I am living, you just wait, right? This is also really I like to say sorrow or sad expression, which means that yeah, it seems that all the hours that left in my life, I mean, in the future will become meaningless, something like that, in my opinion. Yeah, it's really sad. Yeah, you can see the how like bitter, right? How the protagonist, right, in this story is suffering, something like that. Then I think that's a little bit too much for just breaking up, but that's why the song is so famous because it's really quite emotional. Yeah, here. And then we will just repeat all the sentences. Todas las promesas de mi amor se irán contigo. Me olvidarás, me olvidarás. Junto a la estación hoy lloraré igual que un niño, porque te vas, porque te vas, porque te vas, porque te vas. Todas las promesas de mi amor se irán contigo. No olvidarás, no olvidarás. Junto a la estación lloraré igual que un niño, porque te vas, porque te vas. Todas las promesas de mi amor se irán contigo. No olvidarás, no olvidarás. Junto a la estación lloraré igual que un niño, porque te vas, porque te vas, porque te vas, porque te vas. Okay, now the song ended. And finally, I would like to sing a song, try to sing a song. I know it's uh, a little bit difficult for sure, especially this sentence. And this sentence is really crazy for me, yeah, in my opinion. And also, I would like to say, yeah, maybe since this is not my native language, my pronunciation will be very bad. But that's why I started doing this because I think I'm willing to step out and the very first step and try it By trying it, maybe I can do better and better. For example, this time I did it very bad. Next time, not bad. And maybe after several weeks or several months, I will be much uh, better at this, right? That's why, yeah, I hope I can get motivated for doing this. Okay, let's get started. Hoy en mi ventana vea el sol y el corazón se pone triste contemplando la ciudad. ¿Por qué te vas? Como cada noche desperté pensando en ti y en mi reloj todas las horas vivas salen. ¿Por qué te vas? Todas las promesas de mi amor se irán contigo. Me olvidarás, me olvidarás. Una estación yo la leí igual que un niño. ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? Bajo la penumbra de un farol se dormirán todas las cosas que quedaron por decir. Se dormirán junto a las manillas de un reloj. Esperarán todas las horas que quedaron por vivir. Esperarán todas las promesas de mi amor seguirán contigo. Me olvidarás, me olvidarás. Una estación yo la leí igual que un niño. ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? Todas las promesas de mi amor se irán contigo. Me olvidarás, me olvidarás. Una estación yo la leí igual que un niño. ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? Todas las promesas de mi amor se irán contigo. Me olvidarás, me olvidarás. Una estación yo la leí igual que un niño. ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Por qué te vas? Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Hopefully I can, yeah, just keep it up and update the video for this learning process at least once a week. That's a small goal I set for myself. Yeah, and that's it.